ROTWKI, that's me, your positive voice in trucking. We are at the Salt Lake City terminal. I did a video doing a tour of the terminal, but something that I want... Ooh, did you hear that? He's actually going into the truck wash right now, and it's kind of cool. It's like, you know, one of those automated ones, and we can get like the truck and the trailer washed and washouts here, and it's 24/7, which is really cool. One of the things that I wanted to talk about today is how we use our road assist department. Something that's really awesome about Prime is that I use the same people all the time. I have the same fleet manager, I have the same nighttime dispatcher, I have the same road assist person. Even the night road assist people are usually pretty much the same. So even though people sit there and go, oh, you're just a number at your mega carrier, I don't feel that way. I know the people, my teammates that I work with, and I'm looking at this mountain and the clouds are rolling in. So I'm gonna give you a shot right there. Like, how cool is that? It's like totally awesome. I hear people complain about road assist personnel all the time, especially like when it comes to nights or weekend people. They complain about nights and weekend dispatchers. My road assist department, I really treat them like AAA. If I'm broken down on the side of the road or I have a blowout, I need a tow, which thankfully that's never happened. Well, it did once, but I was at a customer and basically my starter blew. That's when I contact road assist. Now, contacting road assist, I put it in a written message through the Qualcomm, tell them what the situation is. Then they get on the phone and they call the various people that they need to get in contact with. And what happens with new drivers is that instead of messaging, they'll call. New people want to feel connected because they feel like they're out on the road alone, so then they call. And guess what happens when they call? Now that guy who's on, the road assist associate, who's on the phone trying to call to get somebody's tire replaced or dealing with an accident, is now taking your call, which his response is going to be, send me a message, because they take the messages in order of priority. So if you had an accident or you have a blowout on the side of the road, your message is going to be a lot more vital than somebody who's complaining that their radio's not working. I would never ever message or call them about the radio not working. That's one thing that I think people misidentify how they can best use road assist. Use them as an emergency situation. Use them in an emergency situation, not necessarily for all repairs. And of course, at Prime, you do have to go through road assist for a certain amount of items, but here I'm going to explain. If I want to put my truck in the shop, okay, say this just happened to me where my APU died recently. So I found a ThermaKing along my route. I messaged road assist and said, hey, I'm going to be at the Albuquerque ThermaKing, you know, in 6 hours. This is my ETA. Could you send me a reference number? I need to get this work done. And within 5 minutes, I get a reference number, and that's it. I drive in to go get my ThermaKing APU fixed. I do the same thing with my truck. I prefer the Springfield dealership for international. I prefer them. So what I do is I tell my fleet manager I have to get routed into the terminal so I can go get my truck worked on at the dealer. Even though I'm company driver, I will then ask dispatch to let me out the terminal gate, because that's something company drivers are not allowed to bobtail out of the terminal unless it's for repairs. It's for a reason. So like I can go out if I had a student that we were driving around, yeah, we can do that. If I'm going to the hotel to go pick up stuff and drop it off because I'm going to put the truck in the shop, I can do that. Then I drop my stuff off at the motel, drive over to the dealership, drop it off. I message Road Assist and say, hey, I need to drop the truck off because just, you know, a couple weeks ago you guys saw a video where my overhead was leaking and as my marker lights had to be resealed. So they put a reference number in. I walked into the dealer and said, here's my reference number and I need this done. Pretty much the same thing goes for like the utility trailers. If there's something that needs to be done on the trailer, it goes to utility. If there's something that needs to be done like on the reefer, it's gonna go to carrier. So I don't understand when people sit here and say, oh, they didn't do this, they didn't do that, because, well, I don't really use them that way. I find places, even Safelite. Here's an example. Safelite auto glass. If I need my windshield replaced, I call up a Safelite knowing where I'm going to be. I make an appointment. I message Road Assist and tell them, hey, Safelite's coming at the truck stop. This is the location. They're going to replace the windshield. I need a reference number. They give me a reference number. Then I call back Safelite after I already have the appointment and tell them here's the reference number for my appointment. And it's all taken care of. It gets all done. I don't understand people that are like complaining about stuff because I don't go through that. I just don't go through it. So I don't know if it's people who aren't experienced enough to see that this is how it works, or maybe I'm just such a controlling witch that, you know, I just do it. I think in the past I've taken the time to actually sit and talk to Road Assist and talk to my fleet managers in the terminal. Because of that, I think I probably have a little bit better concept of how things work. When I took my first student, I was driving for more than a year and a half. Oh, and if you're wondering why it's in black and white, it's because somehow I set it on the camera and I don't know how to fix it, so sorry. but at 18 months, I took my first student, and it was a friend of mine who really, really wanted me to train her, and I really didn't feel adequate enough to do it, but she really wanted me to, so I did. I walked her in to go meet this guy, John McNeil, who was my Road Assist person at the time, and okay, this sounds like, you know, I'm just a number at my motor carrier, but I went to meet him, and I was meeting him for the first time, but this guy was so nice to me all the time. And you know, I've done videos and I talked a lot about this one accident that I had when I was brand new, and he was one of the people that really calmed me down and was supportive. And so I went to him and I said, I wanted my student to meet you because you were so incredibly nice and supportive when I had issues that, you know, I never came in and said hello to you, and I think that you deserve that. And so he's like, wow, what's your truck number? And when I told him, he says, he swung around in his chair in the desk and he was like, I love you. Oh, look, it's starting to snow now. Uh-oh. And I was like, you love me? And he's like, yes. He's like, you never bother me for dumb stuff. He's like, people will bother me, you know, like I said, like about the radio not working, and they place demands like, this has to get done now. And, you know, there are certain ways to get things done, and being nasty and arrogant about things is just not one of the ways that you should be doing it. So we'll see if we can find my friend who's supposed to be over here talking, and oh, here he is. So maybe I'll get an interview with him. He's is a PSD trainer, which is the prime student driver trainer. That's with the people with the permit who are getting their CDLs, and I don't do that. So I thought it would be cool to get him and his perspective on an interview, but I'm not allowed to like film the pad and the backing pad. So look at this, right? I asked this guy to do an interview, and now he's running away from me. Look, guys usually run away from me for other reasons than that. It's usually my voice or just my Jersey girl attitude.